Worried about the pre-trip inspection test? We've got you covered. All right, let's do a in-cap check together. For the in-cap check, it's one of my favorite parts of the road test because every time it's the same thing and it doesn't change. You have to repeat the same procedure every time, and it's guaranteed that it's going to be on the road test. So it's it's a easy process. We just have to organize our mind around it. Okay, so what items are mandatory to do on the in-cap check? For a Class A in-cap check, you have to check the gauges and indicators. You have to check the steering wheel. You have to check seat and seat belt. The glasses, the glass and mirrors. You have to check windshield wiper and washer, and the heater and the froster. 6 items that we need to check. How do we go about checking it? We are going to first turn on the ignition. What are we checking here? We have to make sure that all of the warning lights, they come on and then they go off. This way, we check all of the lights are actually working. Then we're going to start the truck. Once we start the truck, we make sure that the gauges, the air pressure gauges, are in operating range. We check that all of the lights come on and they go off, except, well, we mention which ones they are left. So we make sure that all of them are come on and off, and we mention to the examiner which ones are left on the dash, which in this case is the parking brake and the seat belt, obviously, because the parking brake is applied and the seat belt is not fastened. So we mentioned that to the examiner. Then we go ahead and check all the gauges. We make sure that all the gauges are working properly and they are in operating range. We don't need to mention them one by one. It's not mandatory, except for the air pressure gauges. So we mentioned to the examiner that the primary and secondary air pressure gauges, they're working properly and they are indeed in operating range. Fantastic. We're done with the gauges and the warning lights and indicators. We move ahead to the steering wheel. The steering wheel, there are 3 things that we need to check on the steering wheel. First of all, we need to make sure that it responds normally. To the left, to the right. Fantastic. So, it responds normally. We also need to make sure that it is secure. What does secure mean? Or what does insecure mean? Well, you don't want the steering wheel to do this. It's not going to be a fun drive, and God forbid you have to do a hard brake. Every time you do a brake, the steering wheel is going to go in. Every time you push the pedal and you're accelerating, the steering wheel is going to hug you. You don't want that. So we make sure that the steering wheel is secure. Then we go ahead and check the steering wheel free play. What is the free play? First of all, when we turn the wheel one way, there's going to be no resistance up to a certain point. And let's mark that point for ourselves and then go all the way to the other side. And again, same thing is going to happen. At one point, we're going to feel resistance. So we mark that point for ourselves again. The distance between these two, it should be less than 2 inches, which is the limit for the free play. And that's what's called the free play. Now, what problem does it cause? When the free play is too large, you can't keep the truck straight. You just keep going left and right and left and right, and the truck keeps going left and right and left and right, and you can't keep it straight. So we need to make sure that the free play is less than 2 inches. For the sake of the road test, the fact that you would check it like this and mention that the free play of the steering wheel is good, that is sufficient enough. So you don't need to technically go all the way and measure it. You just check it and make sure that it is good. We are done with the steering wheel. See, going on easy, right? So we're gonna move to the seat. The seat, it needs to have two things. It needs to be not damaged, so we check the seat. We make sure that it's not damaged. The back seat, everything, we make sure that there is no damages to it. It stays secure. And more importantly, the second item is that we need to shake front and back and make sure that the seat stays in the same position, in the set position. What does that mean? If the rail mechanism of your seat is not working properly, it would be quite impossible to drive. You're going to be sliding forward and backward every time you are pushing the brake or hitting the gas. So we don't want that to happen either. So we need to shake it front and back and make sure that it remains in set position. We're done with the seat. Let's move to the seat belt. For the seat belt, we need to make sure that the seat belt does not have any cuts, it does not have any damages, and it's secure. We connect it and hold both ends, pull to make sure that it stays locked. And we also need to make sure that the anchor over here is secure. So we tug on the anchor and make sure that the anchor is actually secure to the truck. That's one anchor. Over here we have the tether belts. So these are called the tether belts. Their job is to work as a fail-safe for when this part here might come loose. So we need to make sure that the tether belt on the right side is also secure, and the tether belt on the left side is secure. Both tether belts are secure. So after that, we go ahead and check the mirrors and the windshield. So we confirm that there are no cracks or damages on the driver's side mirror. It provides clear view. The hood mirrors, they don't have any cracks or damages. They provide clear view. And the passenger side mirror, it also doesn't have any cracks or damages and is providing clear view. Something to keep in mind, and this is the difference between checking the mirror in the cab or checking the mirror in the basically as an exterior, is that we need to make sure that all of the mirrors are adjusted to us. So at this stage, we confirm all of the mirrors are adjusted to me. After doing that, we check the windshield. We make sure that the windshield, it doesn't have any cracks, any damages, and it provides us with clear view. And that's mirrors and glass. It's not mandatory to check the glasses on the side. The windows, basically, the driver's side and the passenger side windows. It's not mandatory to check. So we're almost done. Two more items to go. Windshield, wiper, and washer. We live in Canada. We know how important that is. There's no explanation needed on that. We need to make sure, for the sake of this test, we need to make sure that, first of all, they're there. So we confirm the driver's side and the passenger side windshield wipers. They are present, they're not missing, they're not broken. We also need to make sure that the blade, the rubber blade, is there. We need to make sure that it's not dry. It can actually clean the view. So we confirm that the rubber blade on both sides is present. It is not damaged. Now, to test the function, first we're going to check the washer is working. Fantastic. So the washer is working and it's providing clear view to us. We're going to start checking the controller on different speeds. Great. The controller is working on different speeds, and windshield wiper provides clear view to us, and it's good to go. Which brings us to the last one. The last one is heater defroster. So this is a very, very important item. In Canada, especially driving in winter, you don't want your view to be blocked. And if the defroster is not working, that's going to happen very quickly. So how do we check for that? We're going to, first of all, put the temperature on heat. Then we're going to turn the knob on defroster. We're going to make sure that there are no objects between the dash and the windshield. And we're going to place our hand on one of the vents of the defroster. We're going to start one by one, check all the different speeds, different levels. Perfect. Level 1 is working. Level 2 is working. Level 3 is working. And speed 4 is working. Keep in mind, guys, the truck controller for the heater defroster, it takes some time to have this setting changed. So be patient with it, especially on the road test. Make sure you actually feel the difference before you confirm that that setting is working. As a last note, something that I would recommend on the in-cab check is that try to have an order for these 6 items that you're checking. Having an order for them helps you organize your mind and not forget any steps. So the order that I explained is the order that I'm most comfortable with, and it just helps me remember everything. You can rearrange it. However, whatever order that you would like to do, I would recommend that you keep that order and not do the items randomly, because that could very much make you forget a full step before you know it. So this is just a general explanation on the in-cab check. Let's go ahead and do it the way that we would do it on the road test without the extra explanations, and I'll see you on the next chapter. All right, everyone, let's do an in-cab check the way that you would do it on a road test. The examiner will just simply ask you, please do an in-cab check. And keep in mind, when you're asked to do an in-cab check, you do not need to read from the Schedule 1. So let's go ahead and do it. I'm going to go into the role of the applicant. So no extra explanations. Let's go ahead and do the in-cab check. All of the lights are working. So all of the warning lights are off except for parking brake and the seat belt. All of the gauges are working. They are all in operating range. The primary and secondary air pressure gauges, they are working and they are in operating range. Steering wheel to the left responds normally. To the right works great. It is secure and the free play is okay. The seat doesn't have any damages. It's secure. It remains in set position. The seat belt, it doesn't have any cuts, any damages. Locks properly. Unlocks. The anchor is secure. The tether belt on the right, the tether belt On the left, they are both secure and they don't have any cuts or damages. The mirror on the driver's side, it doesn't have any cracks or damages. It provides clear view. The hood mirrors, they don't have any cracks or damages. They're secure. They provide clear view. The passenger side mirror, it doesn't have any cracks or damages. It provides clear view. All of the mirrors are adjusted to me. The windshield, it doesn't have any cracks. It doesn't have any damages. It provides clear view. The windshield wipers, the wiper arms, they're present. They're not damaged. The wiper blades, they are both present. They are not dry. They're not damaged. I'm going to test the washer. The washer is working properly. It's providing clear view. Speed 1, speed 2 is working properly. The windshield washer and wiper, they provide clear view. The defroster, the heater is on heat and it's on defroster. There is no object between fifth wheel. There's no object between the dash and the windshield. I'm going to test the speed 1, working, speed 2 working, speed 3 working, speed 4 working. All the speeds work and they provide clear view and the heater defroster is safe. And that's how we do a full in-cab check.